morning. So Brooklyn's at work today. My plan for today is to install, it's going to be like our hallway window. So it's probably going to be about right here. So I went out, bought the steel for the framing of it. We're using steel to frame anywhere where we have to cut through a hat channel because the window's too big to fit in between them. So we're using steel there because that's going to be like kind of like load bearing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make an outline of the window, get it up in there, make sure it's level, cut out the window piece, make sure it fits in there. Once I know it fits in there, I'm going to go ahead and take this metal, frame it, and then we'll clean all the surfaces, put butyl tape on the window, throw the window in there, get it screwed on, and then I will use our fill and seal. It's like a foam insulation filler, and I'll use that to make sure there's no cracks or anything, and make sure no moisture collects. So let's get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template for the window so I can put it up in the bus and cut it out. So I just cut the hat channel where the window's gonna come out. That was a real good one. So now I gotta go outside and I'm gonna pop out these rivets and hopefully I'll just be able to pop this out. All right. So here's where I cut through the hat channel. There's these rivets right here holding that hat channel in still. I'm gonna go use the air hammer and cut it out. So, assuming I did everything right, this should just pop right off. Very nice. All right, so I could probably reuse this for something, but this is our hat channel. This was the old original one, this was the new one. So you can still see there's a little bit of the new one down here. What I am probably gonna do is, I'm probably gonna put rivets right where the sheet metal is, just so it stays on. I probably have to cut another 2 inches up on this, which I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do, because so right here I can cut through the sheet metal because the window is gonna be framed around here, but I still need to put in the framing. So I don't know how I'm gonna handle that part yet. The next step is I'm gonna go ahead and put the outline that I put right around here, level it off and trace it. template up now. It's level. I have it pushed all the way to this hat channel because I'm going to use this hat channel as one of the supports, kind of save some money on the metal and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and trace it out and see how it looks. Alright, well, the Sharpie sucks, so I'm going to go buy more Sharpies and get lunch. Alright, I'm back. I didn't really go anywhere, I just went, had a beer, and decided that I was going to skip lunch and just use this thing because I didn't really feel like going to the store and getting Sharpies. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and cut on the inside of this line, probably about 1/8 of an inch everywhere, except for right here, because I know I want the window up against this. And that way, I'll just grind until the window fits in exactly how I want it. Can always cut more, can't put it back. This is the window, it's just sitting in there right now. So my plan for framing it is I gotta run a beam across the top and a beam across the bottom. I'm gonna use the hat channel right here as one of the supports, so I don't have to cut a support there. And then I'll have to cut a piece of metal for right here. I have 1.5 inch thick steel tubing. So half of it is 1/8 thick, 1/8 inch thick, and the other half is 1/16 inch thick. I'm going to use the thicker metal across the top, just because that's going to be where it's taking a lot of the weight from the roof and everything. And then the thinner metal for the supports on the side. And then I haven't really decided about the bottom. It's not going to make too much big of a difference because, I mean, you got all these other supports. Now, I just put the beam up here, got it level, the window and everything. So if you look, ignore the white ones, but these little black marks, that's where the beam goes and connects to here. I want it to be flush with here, but this little thing is probably about 1/8, 1/16 of an inch. Keeps it from being flush here, so I'm gonna cut that out. All right, so I went ahead and did some of the welding. I had to let my phone charge. So I got it, I cut out these little pieces of hat channel right here and went ahead and it fits right in there, leveled it off. I got it hooked up and I started to weld it. So I'm gonna finish up this one and I'll show you a close up of this one. All right, that bad guy's on there now. I'm probably welding a little hot, but yeah, so I got this one on. I'm gonna go ahead and do the top one now. So what I'm doing now is, so we're not using frames. So I'm gonna drill holes through all these little parts. And then this will go through the frame, or through right here, through the sheet metal, and then into the framing that I built inside. So the next step is I'm gonna go put it up in that window and then drill through these holes into the support. Those are gonna be my pilot holes. Then we'll come down and we'll do butyl tape on the window. All right, so we got the window put in. Now I'm gonna come to the outside and I'm gonna make sure I put lines around the outside marks when I was putting the pilot holes in. Now I'm gonna make sure it lines up with that so I know that my pilot holes are right where they're supposed to be. All right, so we got the pilot holes drilled. Now I'm gonna use acetone around the edge to clean everything from drilling, and then I'm gonna put the butyl tape on. So we just got the butyl tape on. It should be good to go. I put a bunch of layers on, so when it presses, the frame of the window presses against that metal, it's gonna squish all that butyl tape, and you want some to be squishing out between the two. You'll just cut that off later with a knife. That just means you have a nice watertight seal. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the window in now. Everything's lined up now. I'm gonna go ahead and start screwing stuff in. So I have these, they're number 12, 1-inch sheet metal screws. I'm gonna put them in. So when you put them in, you're gonna wanna go opposite of the last one you put in. So if I put one in this bottom corner, the next one I'm gonna put in is in that top corner. I put one in the middle, bottom, top. So that way it gets a nice even distribution when it's pushing in on the butyl tape. So this is what it looks like. So the butyl tape's all pushed out. I'll come along with an X-Acto knife and cut it all so it'll be nice and smooth. And then this hole and this hole, I'm gonna put rivets in because they pair with this rivet and this rivet that I originally took out so the window would be flush, and I just want to replace it so there's not a missing hole. All right, so that window's installed. Pretty much completely done with it. All I have left to do is do the fill and seal on it, just kind of like a insulation, keeps moisture and stuff around from inside the frame. But other than that, it's on there. Should be pretty watertight. Once we finish up everything else on the bus, at least on the external part, so like the all the windows, the railing for the solar panels and the rooftop deck and storage. Once everything's finished externally and we're pretty much prepared to do the foam spray inside for the insulation, we're gonna get a big pressure washer and just try to find any holes we can in it. That way, so once everything's sealed up, you know, you can't really get to it. So it's time for me to go home. It's been a long day.